Wow.
Yay!
Someone check if it's running.
I will once it shows up on
Yeah.
screen, which it still hasn't. This always happens.
Okay, I see Fos.
Yeah, there she is. She's got new legs. Okay. She's very powerful. She's on top of stuff.
Did you show this my meme?
Yeah, this was just God. Included in the volume. Actually, it was the back cover. Yeah, man, land of the legumes. Let's go. Fucking, there's
land of the not so happy.
What happened this time? Oh yeah, Yellow Diamond. She's silly. Kablam.
No, she's not. She's old.
She is. She's the eldest of the gems. And she keeps losing her partners.
That's still around, that is.
Yes, that's right. Man, I like this stretch. It was a good stretch.
I mean, noticing noticing in this stretch, it actually not much happens in any stretch, I guess, or in the early stretches, like based on chapter length, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like the chapters themselves are not short, but not all that much happens in them. I could have probably picked more chapters, but this was like one arc, and I guess I didn't want to stop like mid next arc or something. But I guess
I was actually looking at it thinking, oh man, this is going to take a while to read, a lot of pages, and then I just blew through it.
Yeah. I blew past it.
Which is fine.
Because I love you, Sensei.
Yeah. You will not get to stop reading next time.
Okay.
For eternity.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, what was the important stuff? Foss has new legs and she's fast, and so they're like, okay, I guess you're not such a useless piece of shit anymore. So you can join the fighting corps, even though you can barely lift a fucking sword.
Yeah. I mean, really, the moral of this manga is, if everyone thinks you're a loser, that's fine. You can get better. You just have to become an entirely different person.
The point of the manga is self-harm. You should like try and kill yourself, and then if you don't die, you just come back more powerful, apparently. But I've seen the newly killed, and they couldn't be more wronger. So
yeah, it was interesting watching this stretch in the anime. Not when it was airing, but not too long after.
Yeah, I watched it.
Because this literally happened to me as well, relatively soon to when I watched it.
Really?
But that's fine. That's boring. That's a story for another.
You also lost both your legs.
Yeah, and
arms.
then met the Amethyst sisters. Yeah,
I did. I was made of gold.
This is a very good. Yeah, this is one of my favorite reactions in the manga. The humans.
Sensei continues to be weird.
Ooh. Yeah, why he break his desk? I know this is. Let's call this the Michi theory, but I don't think this guy's all together here. I mean, I think he's up to some no good stuff. The volumes keep saying he's suspicious in the introduction. And why do they call him the great and terrible sensei?
They don't call him that.
They do. It says that in the...
They do?
Yeah, all the introduction pages with all the characters, it always says Kongo sensei, the great and terrible sensei. I mean, terrible as in like terrible, like Galadriel was terrible. Not like he's shit. Yeah.
It also might be a Buddhism translation thing. Like I remember seeing a thing about there's a term in Buddhism that sometimes gets translated as unconditional love and sometimes as universal genocide, and they argue about what is the better translation. Like I think it's just some of this info doesn't travel well. Yeah. I will say this manga is not subtle with Sensei. Like they literally do a very cartoony, corny, old-fashioned, where she just kind of mentions it. She just mentions humans, right, or something.
And he make the face, and he break his desk,
and he literally slams his desk to pieces because he's so unnerved by the mention of humans.
And then later his desk has like little metal grafts on it. I assume what's her name? Rutal? The sign. Yeah, she had to fix his desk, I guess.
Yeah, it's like Kiritsugi or whatever you call it.
What? Oh, Kintsugi.
What happens to false?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. I mean, literally with the gold, especially. That's exactly like the
It's kind of crazy how quickly they're progressing with Foss. Where in like chapter 10, she gets a weird kind of superpower with amnesia. And here they go to bed for the winter, and when they wake up, she's basically a new character.
Yeah, she's all emo, and her hair is different, and she has gold arms.
She's an angry tomboy with superpowers who loves sensei.
I would put it like this. She gained a new status effect by the name of PTSD and unlocked a new ability called crying uncontrollably.
It's also funny how
that's
the Cinnabar has, I know it's mercury, but it looks like silvery droplets, and now she's got gold droplets. And the symbolism is it's like pottery.
And I mean, this was skipping to like the very end, but Faust does not even remember who Cinnabar is.
That's right.
Yeah. We undid the only character development in the whole manga.
Take that. Well, I always keep all my memories of my friends in my arms, so it tracks.
The left one, I hope.
What?
Don't worry about it. It is interesting when she cries at the end. She doesn't know what tears are. She just goes, "Oh, hey, I'm leaking. Metal won't stop coming out of my face." And then Sensei says, "Oh, it's just a flaw of the old species. Don't worry about it." So Sensei is comfortable, kind of alluding to humans, sort of.
Well, we know about humans.
He broke his desk.
Yeah, but that acknowledges he knew about them, right? He wouldn't be like, something I don't know about. Cracks his desk
Well, okay, he's able to talk about it calmly and and be all sensitive.
He does look like a human, so I guess it makes sense.
They all look like humans.
Well, he looks much more like a human than they do. He doesn't have fucking crystal hair. I was gonna say something real cool, and I can't remember. Fuck.
That always happens.
I was gonna say that her crying is literally like it's like the Clone High scene where it's like, is that water leaking out of your face? When JFK is crying, and then he drops him down a trap door. Man, I love.
It's also like a
You
say it's also like the Futurama joke with Bender as well, where Fry is peeing. And the robots think he's a robot and he's leaking. And they go, "Hey, do you want some hot solder on that?" And he's like, No, that's fine.
And in the Ant Bully, he's crying and the guy's like, "That's what humans do when they're sad. Water comes out of their face." Yeah, that's true. Anyways, these are some of my favorite character designs. The Amethyst twins. They're very cool. Yeah, they conk their head. According to the liner notes of many volumes, they not only has everyone stopped bothering to remember which one is which, they themselves forget and swap places many times. So we don't know which. I guess from this page we could find out if I pay attention to which side the part in the hair is. I can know which one's 84 and 33, but
that's kind of bullshit. I feel like if there was a guy who looked exactly like me but parted his hair different, you would learn to remember which was which.
It would be confusing, though.
The names, basically, like, depending on...
and then when you're in the mirror, and supposedly they can change their hair, because everyone, like, their hair is, like, kind of malleable and squishy. It's not, like, supposedly they could, like, loosen it and then tie it again. I looked it up, or it showed up in something, but maybe it was, like, in the liner notes, but I think it said that 84 and 33 are, like, the angles at which the crystals form. When I saw them, I thought it was a reference to. I guess that could happen with any kind of crystal, but I've seen lots of things where they will take like a rock that is full of amethyst inside of it, and then they'll split it perfectly down the middle, and then you get two symmetrical halves. And I was like, oh, that's cool. There's in the museum near me in Lisbon, there's 2 giant amethyst things like as tall as I am, and they're 2 halves of the same cracked thing, and they're the shape of lungs, so it looks like 2 giant amethyst lungs. Yeah. See if I can find an image.
Strange.
Yeah.
Well, and then we meet Ant-Ar.
Oh yeah, they're there, like this sort of. Yeah, very cool. Antarcticite, which I also looked up.
Sounds like killing Antarctica.
Yeah, is this real?
Yeah, it's
it
real.
Sounds made up.
It's real. It's like a crystal that forms, you guessed it, in Antarctica, and it's like it's like I just kind of skim read, but I think it's to do with like the saline and stuff from the ocean water gets like crystallizes and forms these crystals, and unlike the one in the manga, it doesn't dissolve back again when it's not cold. It's just from a cold place. Like I saw a bunch of videos of people that had Antarcticite just like in a jar on their table, and it didn't look like they were in a freezer. So I don't think he would melt again come winter, but him being formed in the cold is accurate. So it's somewhat real. It's some artistic license.
Say.
Well, I think he looks like a him because he has like a long face and he's like tall and he kind of
long face.
Why the long face? Yeah. Because I'm a male. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna call him. So there. Yeah.
Yeah. About Sensei, I noticed in my translation at least, when they have the character sheet, they call him Adamant Sensei or like Adamant Sensei.
Mine says Congo.
Yeah, Congo is the Japanese one.
Okay, because
but it means the same thing.
Adamantite is not a real material, right? That's just from video games.
I think it might be. Aren't you thinking of adamantium?
Yeah, that one.
That's the fake one, but adamantites might be real. Let's find out.
Okay. I wondered if that was a way of saying that he's rock-like, but not a real
it says adamantite
rock.
is a fictional fictional metal, yeah. So you're right both times. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense. I don't know what Congo means, unless that's where he's from. But
would explain a lot.
Speaking of nothing to do with that, but I'm just looking at a funny thing. With the Lunarians, I noticed, especially in later bits, the like effect when they show up where everything goes black and it's like symmetrical, they get kind of like more and more complex and more blotchy. But I noticed that they're not exactly symmetrical most of the time, like it was just like a computer tool and you flipped it. And then I was looking at some of them, and they really looked like Rorschach tests, and like that thing you do in school where you like put ink on one side of a paper and then you fold it. So I thought that was neat. And maybe some, they are made out of the mind part, so a Rorschach test would be appropriate. Yeah, just a neat touch. Maybe. Silly Lunarians. And then they have a creepy trap where they have like I think it's sapphire, at least. I don't know if they meant... make like pointy teeth. Yeah, there's a Rorschach blotch looking one. And they just fucking shred amethyst to fucking pieces, and it's fucking scary. I guess this is the new type. Yeah, there's like 2 types of Lunarians. There's like ones that you just murder, and there's ones that when you cut them open and fucking gem parts come out and they murder you. Those are the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really burning through these gem people. The oldest one has been there for 3,000 years.
Yeah.
And they've already lost a couple in the course of a couple months, it seems.
Well, it's interesting that when... Yeah, like, the worst ways to... The ways to really lose gem stuff supposedly seems to be in water. Because the parts, both times Foss's parts got really lost is because they got swept up in like water currents, so who knows where the hell they end up. It's actually preferable to be taken by Lunarians, because then you just like...
You know where they are.
Yeah, you just go back and forth too, because they use you to attack again, so if you beat a Lunarian that's using a crystal weapon, then you get a bunch of crystal back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like... So Foss is really just like the only moron, because the other ones probably have a bigger chance of survival than Foss's arms and legs are somewhere on the fucking Gulf Coast or something. I don't know. Yeah, or they're being.
It'd be funny if someone found them.
I mean, suppose if you think about it on a long enough time scale, they'll just get like disintegrated into sand and then end up back coming out of the nascent rock or whatever the fuck. So I guess someday.
Has to wait
they'll find the right minerals. Yeah. Yeah, but it continues to be very interesting, the dynamics of stuff.
It does seem like the art style, it started good. It does seem like the author's getting a little more comfortable and a little better at making things more readable.
Yeah.
It feels like it's steadily improving over time.
The faces are getting a bit better too. Not that they were ever bad.
The gems also just seemed kind of cuter this time.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, got more flattering angles.
Mm-hmm.
You pointed out that Sensei makes them wear weird fetishy uniforms.
I think that's more the.
It might be the barrel, the fashionista.
Barrel 100% is trying to please Sensei because that's what they all do.
Yeah, that's true. They all love Sensei, as we find out in this stretch.
Yeah.
It's just the transitive property. It is kind of weird when you think about it. The guy just has this freaky little cult of people he kind of made that worship him.
And they all have very slender, pert bodies. That he's kind of like an old bald guy.
You could say he has a type.
I guess so, yeah. And then, I like this section that they just all get super dressed up to go to sleep for seemingly no reason.
What other
they point out.
Where
it's they're gonna get their clothes ruffled, and it's well, I do like their sleeping arrangement where it's just this very big, just like a big sheet that they all.
Fort.
Yeah, it's like a big pillow fort. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of saying it. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting idea that they would have to stop for winter because of the less sunlight. I mean, it's a cool one.
Yes.
But Foss just can't sleep because she's a fucking...
pretends she can't. Well, she's tired anyway.
That's right.
Crawls through the snow.
And she interrupts poor Antarct's only huggu time. Yeah.
She was like me last night.
Hugging Sensei? No, wait.
No, just
Foss.
not able to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I actually stayed up and read manga, so it all comes together.
Yeah.
It all comes
Speaking of the art style getting better, though, it still has the occasional sections of confusion, where there were segments during the theIce flow escapades where it was kind of hard to tell what the fuck was happening, because there was a lot of just whenever there's a lot of elements on the page, it tends to kind of become a bit muddled. I think there was one section in particular where I think it's when he runs onto the first ice flow, and it can be a bit here it was a bit confusing for a second. I was like, oh, that's his saw, I think, and then there was all the weird running technique and all that stuff, but it's fine. It happens a few times. I mean, when you're having a battle with 50,000 people on top of a cloud and a bunch of gem people and then a bunch of molten gold on top of that and a bunch of arrows at the same time, it's gonna be a bit of mixed lines. That's fine.
A bit cluttered. Yeah.
It is just getting to me more and more how they're really not doing a great job of protecting themselves from the Lunarians.
Yeah, they seem to it seems like a case. Early on, it seemed more like Lunarians come all the time, but they dispatch them pretty easily because of Bort and stuff. But really, these chapters just kind of reinforce more and more that they're just fighting a losing battle, and because you just need to slip up very slightly. Often also it creates a domino effect where they'll be fighting just fine, and then one Lunarian will peek from behind a cloud with an arrow, shoot someone's hand or head off, and then the other gems will look at her and be like, no, insert name of gem, and then they get hit, and then it just creates this this ripple effect where they all stop for 1 second to react at the other one being broken, even though that's not a big deal, and then they all just get caught, and then Sensei just has to run quickly.
And of course, everyone who partners up with Force has extra chances of that happening to them because initially can't do shit.
It's funny because she can't do shit, and then once she can do shit, she's really reckless and still endangers things anyway, kind of. Yeah. I mean, also, and she starts hearing the voices of the ice flow. That was very weird because
That's really cool.
Yeah, I guess they explained it kind of. They said that like the organic life gets like stuck in the ice, so then that's kind of what they're hearing. It's like, I guess it's like a form of the Admirabilis, sort of. I mean,
but the Congo says it more like reflects your own thoughts back at you.
But that also seems like it could just be cope, actually, because well, you know, like that's the kind of thing you would excuse if the ice floes really were sentient and you were like murdering them, then
yeah, that's what you would.
Yeah, you might rationalize it as saying, oh, they're not really talking, they're like parrots, they're just like saying your things back at you. And then yeah, I think there were some points where they said some weird stuff that didn't seem like it was like floating back at her, where it was they were like apologizing or saying they're scared, and it's like, I don't think she was scared at that point, but maybe. Yeah.
Again, the blasé attitude towards danger. Sensei's just, I'm gonna sit here and meditate and stare at them sleeping on their pillows. You go just ice skate over these giant ice floes and break them open with a stick. Well, that's even though you're the most brittle person next to the boat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was to keep them like from not waking in their sleeps, but it's like,
yeah.
Is there that big of a problem if they wake up in their sleep? I mean, if there's no sunlight, they'll fall asleep anyway, just pass out. I mean, it's kind of unclear why Sensei lets them out of the like school or whatever the fuck to begin with, because if Lunarians just come after them and they're like patrolling for Lunarians, if they all just hung out, then Lunarians would have to slowly come toward the school, and then Sensei can just kill them instantly.
Yeah, that is very powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they should have field trips rather than just letting people
they should all like go in
exactly.
They're just like, I'm running off into the unknown fields. Bye.
Also, we just established how dangerous the ocean is, in particular to fragile gems.
It's like, I want you to run on top of the ocean while it's frozen, and there's giant icebergs jutting out of the ground.
Not even run. Just like pretend it's the X Games. You're going to be making ramps. You're going to be doing loop-de-loops and flying upside down and swinging a metal rod, which just the vibrations from that might be enough to hurt you.
I mean, and I'm going to say, like, well, running on ice in high heels seems like a hazard at the best of times, really. Yeah. But then we find out about they're all born. They're born in this coast, and they just kind of like plop out, and most of them are just like dead, I guess. Like they just plop out like not fully formed, but it's good for like extra materials, I guess.
Yes.
And the closer you get to, normally it's like they try and get something that's kind of close to your structure, right? Like if you're a diamond, then they can get a kind of diamond, then that's really good. Or something near the hardness, at least. But yeah, Fos just they just try and put some gold and platinum on her as a fucking joke. And be like, ha, pretty heavy, right? Anyways, you turn around for 1 second and she's fucking turned into a fucking monster. Yeah, she turns into a fucking cube, which is like got a cuboid prison. That was very weird. That was like I guess that must have been the impurities in her kind of like manifesting to defend her almost. Well, they cover her mouth.
Yes.
When nice guy. When Anti-Arc gets exploded and says shush. There's like they're covering her mouth and being like, don't give away your position. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's interesting. And we also we see a raid on the school. I mean, Sensei's like reaction to Lunarians is always very strange, where he says like he'll say kind of like vague lines about like out of familiarity, and I think I put this out last thing, but it was very suspicious how when he was meditating he was kind of like mentally surrounded by a bunch of Lunarians. Like he's something is up with that guy.
Yeah, if you just take the pieces of this, it seems like the gems seem to crave meaning and purpose in their lives almost to the extent that they would go crazy without it, I guess.
Yeah.
And they all love Sensei. And there's something very frivolous about the way this plays out. Maybe this whole thing is just a game or a test, or I don't know, it's like the Matrix and they conspired to create a place where rock people could live and have fun. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
If you doesn't make any sense. That should be on the cover. Land of the Lustrous. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It made no sense to me. Well, I mean, it's not much of a. You're never really like too worried about like whatever happens to them because, like I was saying, it almost just seems like an exchange of sides. It seems like an endless game of like I don't know, like a rope or something.
Tag.
Or tag or something. Where it's like imagine
or like dodgeball, where you get the person back if you catch the ball.
Yeah, you can chain them by hitting multiple people. If the Lunarians caught all the gem people, I just get a feeling that they would be like. I mean, I just feel like they would kind of like. Because we only have it on like supposition that they're being turned into like jewels and stuff. They get turned into weapons, but that's just to get more. That's like a long-term investment to get more gem people, right? Like for all we know, all the gems who made it up there are just like hanging out, having fun. Admirabilis chick managed to go up there, and they mentioned something about how she was the only one who like kept her cognizance or something. So maybe up there is like heaven sort of, and you just become kind of like weirdly complacent and don't want to leave. So maybe if the Lunarians just captured all gem people, it would just cut to like them all having fun in heaven, and then maybe the Admirabilis would start trying to catch them or something. Like it just seems like a weird war that would just continue with trading places. Yeah.
Hopefully I don't cut out. My internet was being weird for a second.
You seem to be okay too.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that many specifics to say. Just mysteries are afoot.
I will say, I noticed it more, especially with that like opening chapter of there's like an artwork of like a tree in the snow, and it's like a very empty thing. I noticed, I didn't mention it last time, but it's also, the artwork seems very inspired by like Japanese like woodcuts and stuff, like hokusai style stuff, where it's very like silhouette-y and like just like very empty spaces and juxtaposed horizons and stuff. I thought that was neat. And then Foes becomes a badass, and it's funny. I think she seems to have based her fighting style on Cinnabar, I would say. Which is interesting if she doesn't remember her, because she does all the same. Like she also does like the big block with the big wave, and then
maybe it's like instinctual.
Yeah, maybe it's just instinctual when you have like a liquid ally. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Antark going, what if I forget about Sensei and screaming? That was just a little much.
I mean, that was like very gay boy energy.
I mean, it makes sense given that she like never really interacts.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing she wants is a big hug from Sensei every year. Fos is in her emo phase, so that's cool.
She cuts her hair to fix.
She does, and now she has like a more boyish cut, and she's less glistening.
Yeah, and then she has PTSD hallucinations every time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's where we ended. So yeah, the intrigue continues to build. It's interesting how much the manga likes to just kind of like, it keeps everything sort of the same, but everything also keeps changing in it. Like like interesting. Status quo doesn't change much, but like constantly characters are like, I don't know, get like changed or deformed or disappear or stuff like it, or appear new ones can be more. It's odd. Yeah, strange structure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah. 10 out of 10. I guess we should do To Your Eternity.
Yep.
It's Japan.
it just keeps fucking going.
Yeah. That we're into my favorite stretch, like this. I don't know, like starting here and for the next like 50 chapters, something like that. Yeah, fucking. What do you guys think of the 21st century?
It sucks.
You mean in the manga or?
In the manga, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't be much different other than the legends and stuff that develop.
Yeah, true.
I am kind of fucking amazed that it's good.
Yeah.
I was worried because I was totally expecting. It's like playing Spore. You mean no?
That playing Spore sucks.
Yeah. Oh right. Well, so does the manga. But
what? What is with
no? But it's like, or I don't know. Maybe I have heat stroke. Did you think of that?
Well, no. I never consider people might have heat stroke. Honestly, it's on the lower end of my concerns.
Yeah, I'm in fucking Vegas. It's been a long day.
Sorry.
But you should be. I accept your apology. But it's like one of those video games where things get more complicated and stages, build upon each other.
Yeah.
It's like how no one has ever beaten a game of Civ. They only get to where they know they're going to win, and then they quit playing.
Yeah.
and Spore is another example that I won't totally drop. I was expecting it to get to the point where, okay, we're past Fushi having fun relationship dynamics. He's just God now. Fushi is omniscient. He is the very waft and ween of the earth. His tendrils are in all of our hearts. He's fucking Madoka Magica. There's no personhood left with him. The story's just going to get bigger and more political and more complicated, and it's going to end with Fushi building a spaceship out of trees or some shit. That's what I was expecting. And imagine my wonder when the story actually manages to kind of shrink back down after the huge fucking war arc. And them bringing back all the old characters into the modern day, that is something that I did not think for a second would happen. It sounds like something that would ruin the manga, because it would be the mangaka just losing all discipline and being like, fuck it, just throw stuff at it. But it's actually perfect how they do it. It works really fucking well.
I'm happy. Yeah, I was biting my tongue last time because you guys were had lots of questions about how everyone had passed away, and I was like, you're like, oh, March just fucking committed suicide and fucking Gugu just went and lived out his days. That's kind of anticlimactic. And I was being like, well, yeah, they're not really dead. They're all coming back. Yeah, exactly. One funny detail I noticed about that is fucking so Fushi just brings back everyone who Bond could see as a ghost. Remember, way back when. In the battle. And that means when we see the ghosts of I think it's Fen and Nixon or whatever, the two ghosts that hang around Bon, they're old now. That's really funny because it implies Fushi brought them back to life, and now they got to die again as old men, and then anyways haunted Bon, but as old men now because their ghosts are older. Because your ghosts wouldn't get older if they had just been ghosts the whole time. So they died again as old men and then returned to Bon. So I think that's really cute detail. Yeah. And speaking of fucking Bon, what a fucking MVP. Once more, Bon continues to be the greatest guy. And while Fushi was just like, I'll just become a tree, whatever, fuck it, you guys go do stuff. He was like, well, in a few years there's going to be some complicated stuff. I know. I'll spend the rest of my life creating the fucking Bon Foundation for throughout the centuries, for if anything happens, I'll have some cool guys show up and fucking get everyone together. Dude, if he hadn't had that, it would have been so confusing for everyone else to find each other. Because Fushi's
still pretty stressful.
I know, but
how everyone spawns in random bullshit locations because Fushi couldn't be bothered to make an eyeball.
Well, Fushi is such an idiot. He's like, I bet everyone wants to see their homeland, and just spawns them willy-nilly in the middle of where their land used to be. So it just got a bunch of silly jokes where fucking March comes out in the exhibit of her people and is horrified. Fucking Bon wakes up in his own sarcophagus. Comes out of it. They're like, oh, that's a good cosplay, bro. And he's like, what the fuck, where am I?
Yeah. Also, all of his servants have the same hairdo as him.
Yeah, they're all descendants of him, and they're obviously pompadour. Gugu just comes out.
I like how a few people are mad at Fushi for doing this.
Especially Tonari, who got brought back as a cute teenager.
Yeah.
I was so like, yes, because that's my favorite designer for it. I was like, I'm so sad. I don't like old Tonari. Yeah, I don't want to see old Tonari in modern days. I want to see cute teenage Tonari. Who's just like, I thought you would enjoy it more.
Yeah,
Kai, you're
gotta
fucked.
say,
Sorry. Well, he didn't know what she looked like.
Them making the younger reincarnations go to school. It's various levels of bullshit. Gugu should not have to go to high school.
Yeah, Gugu is the one where I was also like, I mean, he's like a fire-breathing, like, mask man who's 70 foot tall. Yeah, it's like
he had a fucking job.
Yeah, he had a job, but
he's
exactly. He's like what's he gonna learn?
Fire,
It's just because you need to have qualifications. That's their excuse. It's like you just need to have the 12th grade here, or else you're not going to get a job in Japan. So
Gugu is the our world equivalent of being like.
But it is super
45.
silly how like it is kind of silly how like Bon can get them like ID cards through his means, but he can't just get them a. Well, why can't he just get them a diploma? Like.
Because that would be cheating.
Right, okay, but
I think Bon wants to socialize them to modern life.
So.
I don't think.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing I find like a bit illogical is how quickly the family just accepts them.
Well, yeah, the grandfather seems just to be like a comical effect of being a pushover, where he's like, well. I mean, even if the money isn't a concern, would you really want like 10 people at your fucking table now? And like, it's not even all like it's not even all like kids. It's like 3 of them are just like grown ass dudes. Like one guy's like a weird gambler, and there's like a blacksmith and a guy who has fake teeth. Yeah, fire. I mean, I think it's I always thought it was interesting that like this is the point where like the 3 guys from the battle become like more important kind of, because it kind of made it like up until now we've had kind of like the core of like March, Tonari, and Gugu, you know, we're for a long time have been like our guys, you know, like the classics, and then fucking Iddy kind of joins that, but it seems that those 3 guys were more like for that fight, so it's interesting that he just brings them back. I mean, he just brought them back because their souls are lingering, but they now become like kind of like part of the core cast, even though they're very different than the others because they don't all come from different time periods. They're just 3 guys that he met around the same time and were friends of Bond's. Yeah. So
I was very surprised they came back.
Yeah, because like Bond makes sense, but he just brought back everyone who's. That's the interesting thing too. He doesn't bring back people whose souls aren't lingering. So like Pakoa isn't here, Pyoren isn't here, Perona isn't here. Fucking all the P's are missing. Well, Pyoren is here because she's a horse, but
it's fucked up that Perona never came back because she was one of the first characters.
She just went right to heaven, dude.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, she didn't come back. Yeah, that was. I was trying to remember if the knocker.
She came back as a monster, and then Gugu murked her ass.
Yeah, she went to Knockertopia.
Yeah. Oh, just a few of my notes.
Yeah.
The intro, Yuki, the paranormal like mob psycho.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think of him?
I'm glad he's not constantly in it because he is one of the weaker of the new future people.
You'll
he's
grow
not
to like
bad
him
or anything. I'm glad it's not him all the time because he's just kind of annoying.
Well, he's kind of a joke,
I did feel really fucking stupid. It took me a good 5 pages to realize that the root things were Fushi.
You're just like, that's kind of a weird world building element. Why the fuck are there roots everywhere?
Well, I was so ready for him to be an idiot that just made shit up and believed anything that it didn't occur to me, but like, oh right, Fushi was putting out roots. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Also, my translation, I have a note for the translators note. I know what a naginata is, asshole.
I think that's the official translation.
Yeah.
Speaking of the official translation, I do like how it's funny how I can mark out my favorite stretch because these volumes all include behind the front cover they all say these volumes touch on themes of suicide and self-harm. If you are experiencing suicidal thoughts, call this number, which is kind of a fun way of denoting what my favorite stretch is. It's the one that warns you when you read
the number tells you not to commit suicide.
Yeah, you call it, and the Fushi answers and says, "I'm your friend. This is a peaceful world."
It is Japan. Maybe the translation is Canadian. Who knows?
Let's reel a bit back here, and
yeah,
Fushi fucking wakes up in the ruins, and the man is there, and he gives him a new power. So now he doesn't have to stay connected to stuff all the time exhaustingly. He can fucking turn it off and on again. It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah,
and Fushi has a very
disappears.
Yeah.
And show up
then
again.
the guy fucks off, and when he tries to talk to him again, he's not here anymore. He's just fucking gone. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Time for you to celebrate yourself. Yeah.
And get hit by a truck. Like
Get hit. Yeah. Well, yeah. Fushi experiences all the joys of the modern world, drinking bubble tea and getting hit by large motor vehicles. Yeah.
And going to the hospital and getting your bills paid.
He gets a cool X-ray of his head. And he's like staring at it in the sun. He's like, "Yay, that's what my head looks like."
I do like that him spawning gold still kind of works because people will still take it. I mean,
people. He's like making it rain like in the middle of the thing. And it's funny. Like now it's worth more probably because it's like ancient coins, but then if you tried to carbon date them, I wonder what would happen. It would just be like, this says it's a new coin. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like Bond's family portrait. That's cute. What do you think? Well, we should just get to the Kohaku in the room, and I love her. I love everything about Mizuha. She is the best.
I like the glasses go.
What? You have terrible taste.
Not more interesting.
This is well known. Wait, glasses girl? Who even is that?
Her friend who has a silly hair, and she asks, "Would you be sad if I died?" Who gives a shit?
Of course.
No, Mizuha is the most fetching creature ever
she's
conceived
one of the best
in manga.
Characters so far. She's actually really compelling. She brought mad Taco P's original sin energy.
Yes.
I mean, yes. Yeah.
Jaws said the same when he saw the image I used for the thumbnail. He was like, she's all fucking bad.
My first note for her is she's so talented she wants to die. So relatable.
I love I do love like but also both these manga portray like Japanese schools as being like because it's just like I'm not making any comments on like I'm never sure how much of this is like real life and stuff, but it is funny how manga portrays it as like it's not just like if you're like, you know, it doesn't have to be something embarrassing like your mom's a whore or you're fucking dumb or you're like parents murdered someone so you're ostracized. It's just if you're different in any way, so you can be different but by being really good. Like she's very good looking and has really good grades, so everyone hates her.
Yeah. And is the implication here that somehow their special bloodline is making her more capable than other people? And she keeps scratching her arm, but the knocker's not supposed to be there.
About that as well. Like
I can't comment on
and
any of this.
And then she kills her mom, and her mom comes back, but she's not a ghost.
Yeah?
Well, she is a ghost, but there's a separate, unrelated resurrection.
Intrigue,
which, I know. Which Bond wonders. Wait, is it Bond? Someone wonders. Oh, maybe she's a knocker in human form.
I think it's Bond who wonders.
Which means it's not that, because that's too obvious.
Well,
I mean,
Bond is the smartest character.
I mean, I will say it is great. I love how Hayase's bloodline, they just love killing. They can't stop. But they're just like, here I go murdering again. I just love doing it. I just can't stop myself. Even if it's my own mom, I will fucking stab her with a kitchen knife.
Yeah, I like that they didn't bitch out, because they do an amnesia thing where you go, oh, maybe she didn't kill her mom, and then they go back, it's like, oh no, she totally did it.
What if I amazed you and told you that the blacking out thing is explained and it's actual world building? Yeah, I know, right?
I mean,
damn,
and it ties in with a bunch of stuff. But yes. Anyways, let me fly back. Oh man, I don't know. Should we do like all the Mizuha stuff in a row? Because it's like kind of the main thing.
We can just talk about her for a bit.
Well,
I like that she is broken.
Yeah.
And cool
Yeah.
and sad.
And even though she's so cute, how is it possible?
Yeah, I like the Kahaku. Also, Kahaku had like a weird breakdown murder thing in the kitchen with a knife, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so it just runs in the family. They just love killing people.
They love killing people, and they love Fushi. That's their two defining traits. How fucking funny is it that like Yuki is like, he's like got a crush on her, and she's like flirty with him and tells her birthday and does all this stuff, and then as soon as Fushi shows up, he like just has to look at her once and she's like in love with him immediately. Just Fushi can't stop stealing people's fucking girlfriends, man. Fucking stop it.
Yeah, I don't think Yuki is going to outcompete Fushi for being the sex appeal. Just
no, he's just like a guy.
Let's just be realistic.
And also, she is genetically predisposed to want to fuck Fushi. I mean, that's just true. All of her ancestors have wanted to have babies with Fushi.
I'm honestly kind of annoyed. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed that Kahaku never led to actual shenanigans. So
it wasn't meant to be. Because Kahaku was an evil murder man with a crazy arm.
I mean, who isn't?
He wouldn't have been able the second he tried to fucking impregnate Fushi. His knocker arm would have fucking stolen all his forms and turned him into an orb. So how the fuck would that work? But maybe now we're in with a chance. Oh yeah, Eddie comes back. Did you notice that the Pyoran horse has hair? The curly hair in her nose, like when she was a human. Yeah. That's cute.
Oh, okay. I feel a little bad for Pyoran just because she wanted to be the most useful thing. Yeah, she became a horse. That could have been like modern Japan.
Yeah, exactly. That could have been like a one-time thing where it was like, okay, I wanted to be a horse for that incarnation. When I died as a horse, could you? But she's like a weird horse because the guy made her out of like Fushi cells. Yeah. And speaking of Mizuha, people are mean to her in school. They fucking step on her foot. They say she's a tramp. And Fushi doesn't know what that means. He's like, what? like a slut. And he's like, what? yeah, she sleeps with people. He's like, that's good, right? Yeah. That is a great scene when they step on her foot and they're like being jerks. And then immediately one of the class guys picks her up, and all the girls are like, damn it, and the one who likes him is like crying. That's stupid.
I really hope that Fushi has a sexual experience, and don't say anything. I really hope it happens in this thing, just because I'm so annoyed it didn't happen last time. And, Mizuha, she finally has the tenacity and the skills to maybe make this happen. She's like killing people, going on the land, guilting Fushi into building her a little like a hut with all these objects in it. She's probably gonna trick him into making a bowl of condoms at one point. It's genius.
Wait, if she wants to get pregnant, why do you want to use condoms? Right, yeah. She wants to get pregnant as soon as possible. She wants like first fuck, pregnant immediately. Now you can't leave me. She's that kind of girl. It is funny. Okay. I do enjoy how when she sees him, she immediately is like taken with him, and then she doesn't like react from him grabbing her arm. She only reacts when like school people come round, and she's scared they'll see. So maybe if people hadn't come round, she would have been totally fine with him checking her out, which is kind of funny. Yeah, and then she sure murders her mom. I mean, what did you think of her? Yeah, her mom is pretty awful, huh? She's she's not good.
It goes a little far, but I don't know what else you would do.
Stuff will recontextualize it more for you in the next stretch, and actually a lot of it makes much more sense where she's not like as cartoonishly evil as she seems. Particularly the selfie thing.
Like that after she turned into a ghost.
The selfie thing has like a really good explanation, which honestly is like really clever. Because she seems really fucking out of place where she just like takes selfies all the time, and the worst is when they're looking for her daughter and she like takes a selfie in the rain and the glasses friend is like, what the fuck, dude? yeah, there is a really good explanation, but yeah, for now it's bad, and she won't let her. She's so mean about her hanging out with her grandfather. She fucking grabs her by the wrist and is all.
I think it's her aunt. Isn't it?
No, it's a grandfather.
Grandfather.
It is a grandfather.
Oh.
Yeah, that also is a thing. Yeah, and she just fucking stabs her with a knife and then goes out to live in a temple. I like the scene where Fushi goes to buy her clothes, and then Fushi is like got a bunch of girl clothes, and then Tonari is like, the guy stuff is over there. And he's like, I can dress as a girl. Why shouldn't I if I want to? she's like, I guess that makes sense. And it's like, I mean, that would have been reasonable anyway, but he was doing it for her. And it's a very silly scene. It's also funny how like Mizuha is totally like Fushi could do anything at that point, where she's just like kind of cracked, where he's being kind of like a jerk. She's like, so these are the kind of clothes you like, huh? And she gets all ready for him, and then he's not even looking at her. She's just like, how cute do I look? And he's like, yeah. And then she gets like all blushy for him, like not even turning around. That's
what did you think about? I had mixed feelings about this when Tonari is wearing the goofy old lady dress with cherries on it.
I love that scene.
And Fushi says it looks bad on her, and she's like, March picked it out. It's like, aw.
And then March says, you better be sorry. And she's holding back tears as she's fucking angry. And she's like, how dare you make fun of your old mother? It's a good scene. I like it. I like Itty just runs in and star jumps her silly cute outfit. She's got her big long hair back. I like all them getting new outfits. I mean, Gugu looks pretty sick. It's fun. It's just fun fan service. What did you? It's
crazy that everyone has stuff to do at this point, because you would think that'd be really hard.
Yeah. I was gonna say I like that scene a lot, where the way it's done, where she goes with her friend out for like crepes and stuff, and you see there's like one tiny square of her looking to the side, kind of distracted, and you're like, what was that? And then they only reveal afterwards, after the stabbing, that it's her mom had told her that hair thing was like an heirloom. Yeah, it was like a family heirloom, and then she sees it for $3 at the store, and that's when she cracks. That was a nicely done.
Yeah, that was very believable, just kind of an odd moment.
That was very unfortunate. Stay with me tonight, I'm scared. That she's putting the Kahaku moves on him.
Like there are like two specific scenes in the stretch that seem like very sort of disconnected, and where we don't know what they are supposed to mean yet. Like one is just this random guy this random boy at the park who's like looking at like other family stuff, and that's like disconnected. And the other one is this weird high school girl who runs, and she looks very much like Fushi but isn't, and then she falls and injures herself and regenerates. And it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, these are all setting up for the next stretch, and also Mizuha's mom is also related to this. So these are all little seeds that will be explained. Did you like one of my favorite characters in this stretch is Yuki's little sister. She has many cute moments. I like how she's like smarter than all these idiots, like the adult idiots, and she's like, Fushi can't generate money because it'll cause inflation. She breaks her piggy bank, jingle jangle, and is like, it's all yours, $5. Also, it's great how
500 yen to Messar.
Messar goes with $5. And it's like nothing, and he comes back and he's like fucking rich, and he just becomes horse race man. He just plays Uma Musume all day. Yeah. It's great. She's good. I like her a lot. She just fucking guilts Grandpa into stuff. Guilts him into keeping a bear in the backyard. I also like that running joke of Yuki always telling people he won't tell them anything, and then bursts into classroom and goes, guys, I have a fucking immortal and a bear in my house.
Oh, that's the boy.
Yeah. Another thought about Fushi. What a weird fucking coincidence, or maybe it isn't one, that just the random starving Eskimo kid he happened across at the very beginning just happens to be like the sexiest person of all time, apparently.
I mean, he was good looking. Yeah, his looks would have gone to waste in a freezing to death in a village 1,000 years ago or whatever. So yeah, it's yeah. I mean, he's got that like like the alien attraction to him where he's well, no, but he's like the weird, like where he's like a weird foreigner with light colored hair and eyes, so all the Japanese girls are fawning over him because he doesn't look like every other Japanese guy.
Imagine him
Exotic,
just dying of infection in the northern wastes.
Yeah.
Not knowing if I had been born under slightly different circumstances, I would have had the best life ever.
It's true.
Isn't that everyone?
Speaking of everyone, people looking better. Yeah, I mean that's Fushi's fascination with this world, is that how it's like so much more of a paradise compared to his. I mean, even without the knockers, the times he lived through were just times of like strife and poverty and murder, and there's still that stuff now, but comparatively, you can have a much nicer life here. I mean, the average.
It's his friends doing the murdering.
Yeah, well, the average human now has a better life than like the fucking noblest of royal families of like 1,000 years ago. So
how dare you?
Well, it's true. Speaking of adapting to their time, well, fucking Bond looks great in a 3-piece suit. He just fucking he just pulls it off perfectly. He's so stylish.
I felt weird about that.
He's got like heels. He's got heels on his fucking shoes. He's very dapper. He learns everything about this world immediately because he's a genius.
Why did the writer make a perfect person?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what her deal is.
Oh shit! I disconnected for a second, but I was just saying, Bond's second haircut from his actual part, I kind of like that. I guess it's less distinctive, but he's just a little more handsome with a normal haircut.
Yeah, I miss like shaved pompadour Bond. He was cool. Doesn't really show up again, sorry.
Damn.
Yeah. I remember when Mizuha was like, "Do you like me?" And Fushi's like, "Stupid."
No.
Yeah. That's such a abused child thing, just asking random people if they like you.
It is always kind of creepy, even when it's Mizuha who's only like 14. It's always kind of messed up when people are like trying to put the moves on Fushi, where she's like grabbing onto his arm and rubbing up against him and like being like, "I'll teach you about things," because it's always like he's kind of like has the innocence of a child almost, like the same way when Kahaku was like trying to be like weird with him. It's always like taking advantage of his cluelessness almost.
He should turn in the booze man now and really show her.
Oh god. I mean, people are they're like getting real chummy, and the friends are just watching from the trees and being like, it's funny too because like Glasses Girl also Glasses Girl seems a bit kind of Yuri, or the other way around. Sorry, no, Yuri. That's right. Yeah, with him, and then she also is kind of vying for the guy Yuri to get with her, and then Tonari seems to have a thing for Fushi, a bit, where she's kind of like in the last panel when he holds her hands, she's like blushing. So it's funny that they just have this. I
think I missed that.
Oh.
They are really playing the long game with that.
Yeah, it's a subtle thing, but it like comes like here. She's like getting a bit of a blushy face. It becomes more prominent later.
I was intrigued when Fushi says something to the effect of, when sex is coming up, he says, I feel like it's something that I would just eventually get sick of, or it would just be part of the past, or I couldn't enjoy it anymore.
I think he has. I think that's like supposed to be like, well, it's kind of like an extension of like that, like kind of like Van Hohenheim and other characters have had, where it's like it's very lonely for them to fall in love with someone, because it's just like it just becomes, the other person will slowly die. Although Fushi can bring people back to life forever, but only if they want to stay by his side as ghosts. So I think Fushi would have been like, if he had done that before now, odds are he would have probably had a relationship with someone, then they would have died and gone to heaven, and then he would have spent hundreds of years sad, and then maybe done it again. And if he just kept doing that, then at some point he's going to have had so many like intimate relationships, that it's going to kind of cheapen the meaning of any specific one of them almost, where it's like none of them would be like his one true love. I think it's kind of like something like that. Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't really know where they're going with this.
Oh, also he became a fish.
Oh yeah.
And he was like carving out the floor for mating season. And then other fish were like, eh. And he was like, I'm so sad. I wanted to fuck as a fish. Yeah. And then he just got scooped up by
It's cool that those fish actually exist.
Yeah.
Fish.
I'm glad you guys seem to be enjoying it.
This is
an arc.
I think it's a very good stretch.
This is great.
Also, it was kind of funny how I was like, damn, I still continue to adore the art style, obviously, and for the first time I was like, man, it's really cool seeing this like fantasy author draw all these like, modern day things, like all these cars and shit. But then I was like, wait a second, she's not a fantasy author. She fucking Silent Voice is set exactly in this time period.
Yeah, she's
and
back
in high school.
in her home
She just
turf.
went back to her home turf, but with like upgraded drawing skills. So it's like, oh right, that was kind of silly. And I Want to Die. Very cool. Okay,
you do?
Yeah. Just like the manga.
As my final thought, I will say. This reminds me of JoJo a little bit, and to some extent Togashi, where there are some
Did you just
cut out there for me, so that it won't be on the stream. Hello? Green. Oh, no.
No.
We'll never know what he was going to say.
It's really tawdry, or like they're missing the point of the story.
Green. Go back. Hold on. You cut out for like 10 seconds there.
5 seconds.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought, at least it's better than it was.
You said it reminds you of JoJo because there are some manga.
Okay. I will try to go through this. There are some manga that know when to let you have something that you normally shouldn't be allowed to have as a viewer.
Yeah.
And she is one of those where, like, a lot of it's like the end of Gurren Lagann, where it's all somber. It's like, we can't bring Nia back because responsibility or some shit. Yeah, and you can't bring her back because it defeats the point. But it still makes me mad that they don't get her. But you can't bring it back because it's not that kind of story.
Yeah.
This is the type. She's this mangaka is someone who knows how to bring Nia back.
And he cut out again.
And cut out. Yeah.
But we get what he's
I agree with that. Yeah. Usually it feels like it would cheapen the point, but this is like having your cake and eating it too in a good way.
Yeah,
where it's
like she will give you your cake.
Yeah, and let you eat it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And like Togashi is another one too, where it's like he knows when to just indulge in stupid bullshit that will make you happy. Like the dodgeball game is the perfect example. There's no fucking reason for the dodgeball game to be there, but he just knows when to say, let's just have the funnest thing ever, even if it doesn't make sense.
You're right, because it seems like the kind of story that would be very opposed to that. That would be like, that's the point. The people treasure your time with them because time is fleeting and you can't just bring people back. Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah,
give them
it's
bubble
like the
tea.
bell
it's
curve
fun.
meme. On the bell curve meme, like the stupid person is, I miss the characters,
like
bring them back.
No one ever died.
The middle is you have to be mature and accept the choices have characters, and then the genius is, I miss the characters, bring them back.
Let's see, wouldn't it be fun if everyone ate macaroons?
Yep. Well, we probably should Spirit Circle. Although it was pretty short.
Spirit Soicule. I really like the floors stuff. I think it's probably the single strongest past story so far.
So far. I was gonna say, downhill from here.
No. I like Lafer or whatever the fuck he's called, and Fortuna a lot. I like Floors. He's cool. Yeah, we go to Roman times this time, and before then, I remember Coco's a real bitch. She's all fucking edgy and shit. I do think she's full of bullshit. Like, I totally get that she's like a kid, and it's like, and also it's silly to. I mean, they kind of mentioned this, but you can't follow the blame tree and just be like, well, she started it because she ripped his girlfriend's hair out, because that's not even the first time period to begin with, and also it's like a weird cycle thing. But still, she is like, it is bullshit that she knows so much more than him, and yet she still is like, doesn't really have the maturity to be like, I don't know, like gracious about it, where she just wants to like rub things in. How did the guy died? Fucking, actually, he was happy. Fuck you, bitch. And she kicks him in the face. And then when he brings up, well, you did murder me and my girlfriend, she's like, that was for the good of the stupid people. And I was like, yeah, okay, fuck you. But it's okay, because she gets hers when she shows her panties, so fair enough.
Yeah, and she does not take that well.
No, she takes it very badly. And speaking of things that are not going well, the fucking poor art girl, you know, she tries so hard. She changes her hairstyle every day. She's super cute. She wants to hang out with him. She looks out for him. She changed.
That's women's version of shooting their shot.
She changed outfits. Instead of just going to visit him in her school uniform, she chose a cute outfit to go see him. And what does she get for it? Nothing, I tells you. Nothing. Fucking Fuda's a stupid.
Like when I read this in the Floor story, when he marries the other girl, at first I assumed it was.
I'm very surprised.
The previous version of this girl, but
I'm very confused now reading it how you made that mistake, because they very clearly show the version of this girl before her. It's like
that's what I was about to say. It took me like a reread of it to realize, the slave girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw it immediately, so I was like, oh no.
I sometimes do need a little chart or something, because it's just there are two characters that have kind of similar eyes.
It's not
all
them,
of them
though.
are pretty easy to tell apart, except for two. I know it's not them.
Okay, the ones that are most similar are this guy.
Mix those up.
Well, it's this guy, like the like drunken priest guy / school friend, and the guy who was his like training officer when he was a knight / Coco's dad. Those look really similar because they both have like the teardrop. Yeah, they have the teardrop nose, and they're both very tall, and they always have short hair. For a second, I was like, wait, he's her dad too? And then you guys like, oh no, that's not drunken priest guy. That's a guy who was with me when I was on my way to kill the witch. And I was like, oh, okay.
The one that gets me is Rei, like the girlfriend from the ancient Mayan one.
Yeah, and the judo girl.
One who is. Yeah, because every now and again their eyes are just a little similar. So like when the daughter in Van's story was wearing the scarf, it's just a little confusing at times, because like when you get them in certain outfits, they're just similar enough you can't stumble.
You can tell art girl who's really tall, she's really tall, but she has like very distinct like black eyes with a little white glow in them. The other ones just have like the white eyes with the ring. Same as anima. They have anima eyes from Biscuit Hands.
Yeah.
It's all the same eyes.
Yeah. Coco, she has a little lip highlight that sometimes annoys me.
That annoys me too. Thank you. I was like, it's not done well. It's like a badly drawn lip highlight, and also she's not the kind of character who should have that. Like when it's older versions of her, sure, but when she's like the 14-year-old, it's like, what 14-year-old has a giant, like pouty, big lower lip like that? Yeah, it's I don't like when he does that.
Also,
it bugs me too.
Also, real quick, she's so insecure about being seen in her panties, but her former lives wear very revealing clothing.
Yes,
quite often.
That's right. Yeah,
the Mayan one is practically naked.
Yeah, the Mayan one is just naked, and the Egyptian one is all butt. And even in the Fortuna cut, her version, her outfit is like very form fitting. Like she's on the floor and her dress is like stuck in her butt crack. So she's I don't know what the fuck is up. I'd forgotten how often the like past forms pop up, like that he hears them.
Too.
I had forgotten that. Like I remembered he has moments where he confuses himself for them, but I'd totally forgotten like while she's telling the story phone is like in the background being like, I like it, or Van shows up and says like, she's full of shit, she's a stupid fucking witch, don't listen to her. I think
I'm on Van's side with that. I'm not saying Van's right, but I am saying fuck her.
I definitely like feel his side more strongly. If she's to be all edgy like, oh yeah, the peasants I tried to protect murdered me back, I'm like, yeah, that's your fault for living in a horrible culture that promotes like also, human sacrifice.
Yeah, Coco, how fucking dare people, be superstitious, because you have so much room to complain about people believing in magic and sci-fi and all kinds of crazy shit.
Also, she was like, she could see spirits, and that was why she was made a priest, but the other guy could see spirits, and that's why he couldn't be made a priest, because they kept it secret so he wouldn't be murdered. That was kind of weird. Yeah. Anyway, Rune sure is cute. Remember when she wears the China dress, and then she wears the schoolgirl outfit, and then he's like, I'm gonna start having dangerous thoughts here. And then he's like, thank God she can't read my mind.
I still have problems with the art style, where it doesn't register as a manga almost to me. It's more like really.
It is a bit like it's almost like the Sunday funnies a bit.
I mentioned Four Comas before, and I would compare it to that as well. Very flat with simple designs.
I was discussing with Jaws, and I think it's deliberate that he is like saving the more manga-looking stuff for the flashbacks, and then whenever it's like in modern day, he just goes for very simple, not a lot of shading. Just kind of layouts and stuff. So I think he wants to make like a contrast there where like the past is more like dramatic and exciting. Like I was saying to Jaws, like I wish there was like a hybrid, because it really annoys me because I can't pick either of them for like best art, because Biscuit Hammer had like much more interesting and kind of daring compositions and scenes, but this has like better poses and anatomy and consistency. Like I remember like the drawing where Coco is like standing on his bed and like gets up with the spirit circle, like this one. Like this is a better posed, like cooler looking, dramatic drawing of the character than probably most shots in Biscuit Hammer, but the square in and of itself isn't like that interesting. Like if like I wish he had like the skills of this one, but like the inspiration he had,
the ambition.
Ambition he had in Biscuit Hammer. So it's kind of weird. It might also be, I can't be 100% sure, but this one looks. It's tricky to say, but it kind of looks more digital to me too. It could be something where because he is adapting to a new medium, he is kind of like relearning the basics in a way. So he's like doing it a lot faster probably, and is getting like a hang for consistently drawing the characters, but he's also kind of just treating it more as like a paint by numbers thing. That might be the case too, because I don't think the first one definitely was not digital, but this one looks more digital in some parts. It could still be.
I think that's fair. That seems reasonable.
It might be some composite of the two, where he's doing like the main drawing with in nib, because the line's still kind of wobbly, but then tiny panels and all the effects and stuff he's putting in on his computer, so might be the case.
Yeah, I will say that in Biscuit Hammer there were definitely some drawings where you can tell he was getting a little lost and just kind of scratching his way through it to make something reasonable.
But he had a lot of
I haven't really noticed any of that in this one.
But like there is less bad, but there's less good. That's like the whole thing. Like where like you don't get many of those like big 2-page spreads of like, a cool kick blasting through something, or stuff like that is less common. Anyway.
I mean, even the group scenes of people sitting around in Biscuit Hammer look more interesting than they do.
Yeah, I think you're right. This one also just seems like kind of faster done, where he's like less preoccupied with that, where he just kind of is. It's almost like he was on a tighter schedule, maybe. Anyway, we got some intrigue with Fortuna, which is cool. That's one of my favorite pages of this. Is the 2-page spread with like the burning. Spacifica, we don't know about Spacifica, and Fortuna acknowledges him and is like, it's not time yet, young grasshopper. I am sending you to ancient Rome. as floors. This brings up an interesting point, which I had forgotten, which is that the lives, the order in which his soul went through the lives is set, but it isn't the same as the timeline. Like, it's not like, if I can explain this better, it's not like his first incarnation of his soul was the longest time ago, and then the next time he's revived is further along in history. Sometimes the next time he's revived is in the past, because this time is definitely before Van's time. Yeah, exactly. But they still acknowledge, but the burn on his cheek and the other stuff acknowledges that it's just like, because like, I guess it's like the thing of kind of like in Biscuit Hammer, where they explained how time wasn't just like a simple arrow, it's more like a kind of like a field, and if you imagine the soul just kind of like whizzing around it in like a different pattern, it doesn't necessarily have to follow time's arrow. So yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah, and as we all know, Romans built the Sphinx. This is a very, we found out recently through excavations where they found helmets and swords and pickaxes that, those lazy Egyptians never actually built anything. They contracted Romans to come over and build stuff for them. And Romans are invented cats. Yeah, there were no cats in Rome. That's the famous. It's like no cats in America. There are no cats in Rome.
Flores' actual story, I mean, it's perfectly soulful and all that.
Yeah, I like it. I like it more than
the lesson's pretty straightforward. It's just like he just wasn't a great husband, and it just slowly wore him down, and it's just kind of sad.
I find that like interesting and unique though, where it's like Van's story was more like, just kind of like how he don't spend too long kind of like grumbling over your misfortunes, and he ended up just kind of like being like a guy who kind of like trudged through life, but it all kind of worked out for him. This one's kind of the opposite, where he like accomplishes great things, but he doesn't appreciate it, and just spends all of his time like not seeing what's in front of him and just looking over the ocean, and then later in life he's like full of regret. And it's messed up because you think this is like a positive one where they don't have much of a grudge against each other, where it's like, they managed to not kill each other in this timeline, and even though they kind of despise each other just as a matter of fact,
we still appreciate that.
Yeah, they just like leave, but then it's like, well, even before we know what happened to whatever their fucking name is, Fona or something, the fortune teller, Rona or something, whatever before we Rocca, before we know what happened to her, and even we have like the thing of like his dad dies and he doesn't get to see him because he spent so much time there, and then he essentially kind of spends the rest of his life kind of he's cursed without being able to appreciate stuff, because he's still so stuck on like what he left back there in a weird way. So in that way, she kind of did curse him.
It's also interesting that it's not even completely his fault.
No,
because it seems like it's implied that the wife was also hung up on Kurteros.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, they both were like in a kind of a.
It's something that probably could have been overcome if he had tried really hard to overcome it, but he didn't. So
they liked each other just fine as like friends, but their love was with another. It's funny though, because in her case it definitely is just like she was in love with this guy and she cries for 3 days when he leaves, and they just couldn't have a relationship before. But in his case, it's not really like he's in love with anyone. He's just like weirdly fascinated and hung up with with what his life was over there, because she says something like, oh, it was that girl, right? And she mentions this girl's name, something with Halara. She's like, oh, it was that girl Halara, right? Like the one who is the tall art girl now. And really, he didn't really seem to care about her when he was there at the time. He just kind of, I don't think he was infatuated with her, and he seemed to not like Rocca. So I don't think it was any girl in specific he was into. He just was like just like lost in like the appreciation he got for building that Sphinx, and how he had gotten used to that life of the telling his past lives and stuff. This is one of the cooler. I really like this shot where the blood trail goes from the decapitated him to Van dragging her head. That's like one of the coolest effects he does. Like, again, the art is better in the flashbacks for sure.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at a note. I don't know why I said it. I I wrote, "This bitch needs to calm down. Nobody likes the blood." Was that about this?
It's probably. Well, it might have been that, or it might have been like he keeps having dreams about how when she tells him about what happened to like the Mayan people, it's like they all got like their throats slit and blood poured into buckets for the new god Fawn. So maybe
that's probably it.
Maybe that was it. Yeah, because he keeps hallucinating. And remember, he's like when he's lying in bed, he keeps seeing visions of that. Yeah, this is my favorite two-page spread with the fire and Fortuna. It looks really cool.
I do feel bad for Flores because it's like he's just not that passionate about anything in particular.
Yeah.
He's not like a bad guy. He's not mean or anything. Like he's just not engaged to the point where he needs to be.
Well, that's like a common thing in like the ancient world. A lot of it is just like you kind of are just your path and your profession is chosen like for you, and whether you like it or not is irrelevant. So he just like, it's not even like he's a great. I don't think he has any specific affinity for sculpture or for architecture. It's what his dad commands him to do.
I mean,
and he has a complicated relationship with his parents, so he just
the interesting thing we see is that, I mean, first off, you just said that like his parents like argue the scar.
They argue about his scar.
Then he gets picked up by the sculptor guy, which then turns out to be the current incarnation's father, which is a nice thing.
Yeah, and he was his mentor.
Yeah, that's my last note.
He was
a
sword mentor who gave him money when he was Vaughn and he got kicked out of his home.
And Floor's kind of getting, closure from the actual current dad incarnation. That was them having that moment together was nice.
Oh, yeah,
where
sorry,
it's all
that's not the same
overlapping.
guy. That was Coco's dad. Was the guy who met him when he was Van. Yeah, this guy is his dad. You're right. Yeah, they had three similar looking characters with funny noses actually. It's interesting.
Nice.
He's just never pleased with whatever happens. Like. Like even when he builds the Sphinx and it's a big success, he's like, I hate that thing. I would tear it down. But then he spends kind of the rest of his life obsessed with it just because he couldn't get the cat quite right. And then he gets annoyed that everyone calls him Master Sphinx for the rest of his life. So he builds a library.
I don't know if we probably have noticed this, but when he's old, he tells the story to the young boy that's sitting next to him, right? And when that story ends, that boy seems to turn into the cat. There's this one. Yeah,
there's a shot where he walks off.
Yeah.
I did notice that. I guess that's just like the one that got away. Sort of. The kid who's telling it to him also kind of looks like he could be his grandson almost, because he's similar looking, and we know his son just like fucked off because he was a shitty father. I mean, not as bad as his own father, but still, you can only do so much. Also, it's funny when. Two things I noticed about Flores. It's funny because Jaws brought up how last time old Van didn't look very old. This time we get two different versions of old Flores, and he looks a lot better. We get like Flores when he built the library, who's pretty old, and then we get like really old Flores, and he turns into a Greek tragedy mask where he has black holes for eyes. He turns into Zeus from Record of Ragnarok War.
Also, Flores possesses MC Kun. He shuffles around like an old man.
That's right. He's a grumpy old man. I love this shot. I love his face when he's like grumpy. Is walking throughout town, and he's just pissed off that everyone calls him Master Sphinx, and he's just always thinking about like, man, I hate that fucking Sphinx statue back there and that stupid witch who fucking wasted my time. But people just assume he's like very pensive, and it's like I imagine that's what Socrates was like. Like Socrates just went around walking through Athens like grumbling about like, man, my fucking toga's too tight, and people would look at him and be like, oh man, he's having such deep thoughts. Look how serious his face is. He must be having some great ideas.
That's plot for Oppenheimer.
Exactly.
And like unironically in a way. Like people who know.
He's an angry man.
I did with the whole frame story thing, and also how short the manga is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did notice this story within a story is a little short for us to, or the stories in general are a little short for us to be immediately having recaps right after them. They're only a couple chapters long, really, and then we get characters like telling each other what happened and summarizing the plot, and it's like it's a little goofy to have a story you can read in 5 minutes and then characters are already going over it.
They don't feel like they are recaps.
Yeah, they don't recap it. recap. They tell you the other side of the story. Like I appreciated that when they get together after this, they get together, and then there's like a tiny, I think it's like a black square, and then it cuts to him just saying like ... That's basically what happened. So it skips over his. He doesn't recap it. Like it skips over his recap, and then she's like, let me tell you what happened on my end. We all got fucking slaughtered. This is a nice sequence of him crying. This is my favorite part of the thing, where he just like, because his son gives him shit about not even crying about his wife dying, and then like 30 years later he goes to her grave, and because the servant guy called him Flores, he just remembered how like, oh yeah, that was like the last time I heard my name and you always called me by my name. Oh, it's sad.
Yeah.
And he cries at the grave, and then he dies alone. But his son did come to visit, just a little bit too late. But yeah, a strong stretch.
Yeah.
I just like the Flores story. I think it's
Yeah,
I think it's an effective short story.
Yeah, it's good. I wonder what our favorite short stories are going to be.
I think the Van one is like fine, and it's definitely like good, but I think it's a bit too kind of simplistic. This one is more like nuanced and interesting, and the phone one doesn't really count. It's more like an old myth. Yeah, even with the recapping of the other girl's POV. It's also nice how he makes himself a little Sphinx statue, and his dad's like, you might be an artist, and he's in the art club, remember? So yeah.
Oh yeah, true. It's almost like he has to get the reincarnations out of his system a little bit.
Also, great.
Gonna have to stab a bitch at one point.
Yeah, good final moment of him forgetting his own name. And then we see the shadows behind him, and I like how Phone's shadow doesn't have a head. That's funny. Okay, well, I think we had 3 strong stretches there. I'm very glad. Next stretch of Pure Eternity is my favorite section of all manga ever. So
Oh,
I mean, it's up there, really.
Spirit Circle.
I was amazed at the next stretch.
With Spirit Circle, I'm tempted to just do 1 incarnation per session, because
that's fine.
It's nice to have some kind of slower pace, and we're going to get through it quick regardless.
Yeah, it's nice too, because I get to include like multiple thumbnails. If we did it quickly, it would be like first thumbnail Coco, second thumbnail Fortuno, it's over. That would be like it. So we got to have the funny Sphinx. Yes.
My God.
Okay, well, I think that's about it, right? Shall I do the honors?
Yep, just sing the theme song, and we'll leave.
But you have to sing it backwards.
The bite is better than